That's not bad. So now we gotta lower it down. Not completely terrible. Yes, so you have to mount this one. There's one missing. Okay, very well. So in this episode, we're gonna put the body onto the frame and try to get the engine started.
Hope you enjoy the video. We are a bit late for that.
Well, in the video, it could be 6 in the morning, right? Well, I let it run in a time lapse, and then it looks for everybody like it was planned like this.
Good.
So this is now hanging on the body.
Sitting on the body.
The chassis is hanging on the body because the body is on the lift.
Oh, the chassis is hanging on the body. Yes, Christian has problems explaining stuff to me.
Did you hear this click?
Yes.
That was the first click.
Yes, I heard it.
You almost missed it. So
I am never ever gonna do
here, just
a body removal and car restoration in the next 2 years.
the next 6 months. We got 2 bolts in the back. All we gotta do is lower it down, and then I gotta watch. And if you hear it snap, it's too late. Yeah, that speed is good. Yeah, one more. Okay, there is now a cable which I'm supposed to plug in now. Further down. We're like almost within 5 millimeters.
It's seated.
Oh.
What?
Well, it's not completely lined up. So, gotta go this side.
Did it move?
No. Can you lift it up one more stroke?
Yeah.
Good.
It moved a lot.
Oh, too far. Damn it.
Shit.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah?
So putting the body on for us from the moment we will the frame underneath is about 3 hours. So I don't know how people do the whole job in 2.5 hours, okay?
Yes,
Get
and
it in position. Maybe they have some special positioning aid.
down?
Yes.
So now he's complaining that my push was not 100% like the last push.
Yes, it gotta be by a millisecond.
Yes, and he really complains about that.
Okay, I got this one in.
Yes.
We can do the next one.
Off camera.
No.
Oh.
We're doing YouTube videos.
And then the next sentence. You create useless content.
You do.
Yes.
I gotta cut it out.
Exactly. Oh no, don't say it doesn't
No,
fit.
it doesn't fit. One more. We got now 4 screws in and they loose. We're gonna put the lift underneath the frame and lift the car up for the first time and put the rest of the body mount bolts in. One more. Stop. Good, we got it. Go up. Body and frame is one again.
There's some painting left to do.
It's obvious why this is, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. How pretty. But none of those bolts are torqued. Yes, and our unpainted brake calipers. It's cast iron. You don't paint those.
You can paint brake calipers, okay? Like an 18-year-old kid when he first gets his car.
Yeah, or
And you do that on Ferraris or on Dodge Challengers Hellcat. You don't do that on an SUV. Maybe on a Range Rover, okay? I can see that. You definitely don't do it on a Discovery. Those are holes. Could line up better.
Oh.
Yeah, we're off like 5 mil.
Oh.
I got this special spoke here. I can go in here and now maneuver the body where it belongs.
Oh, that's stupid. More pressure.
Okay, now we gotta torque them to 115 Newton meters.
So, and we also have the same issue with the frame, where we lifted it up.
Well, that one was already 115.
What? I think you broke it.
Out of 10. That's good enough. Now we're going to get those ground connections all back on. There are multiple of those. Those cause your three amigos going on. First connectors go back on.
The plan is to connect everything, all connectors, all hoses, that is needed to start the engine. If it doesn't start, we're going to have to take the body off again. And then we have to fill in fluids like power steering and engine oil.
That is important.
Take care of your ground connections, because if it is rusted or oxidized, you're going to have faults and you won't know where they are coming from.
Put these in here, even if we don't need them to start the engine.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, I should check the oil drain.
So here the engine oil drain plug is 25 Newton meters, connecting the coolant hoses.
So mounting the battery cable. Once we install the airbox, we can't get to it anymore.
Yes, and we need the airbox to start the engine.
Good.
Connecting more coolant hoses to the FB8.
Cooling crap.
Yes.
So, and luckily I put like a little white mark on here. Coolant reservoir goes in. And that's new hoses. Level sensor. Did it click? And closed. Get this air conditioning stuff here connected.
So we have new
I
O-rings.
ordered some. They cost a fortune.
So a iPhone tool is used to remove the O-rings.
This one is a little bigger, I would think.
And has a different color,
Yeah.
I think.
This one.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's mount this one.
By the way, with O-rings we don't mess around. We get OEM.
Don't want to mess around with air conditioning, because that's the one thing I can't do at home. I'm not going to a workshop. I'm going to my friend's house. He's got an air conditioning license in Germany, and he can extract and refill all legally.
Yep.
But I don't want to waste his time, and he only needs to do it once for me. This is
Heat
special
resistant.
grease, which is compatible with aluminum because it's made for aluminum alloy rims. Good. That looks about right. Yep, plugs in nicely. 10 Newton meters. Hopefully, I still gotta be careful, because if the O-ring doesn't fit. But looks like I ordered it correctly.
Yeah.
So this goes on here.
Oh yeah, I don't see it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
See how these snap in when they new?
Yeah.
Air conditioning done. This is so important for everybody to see.
So we're going to connect a whole bunch of cables.
So this should be really easy. I got these three in. There we go. And you can see we did everything nice and twice.
Because I didn't hear it click. Oh.
Yeah, because you're making so much noise. Gotta fumble the battery tray in place.
It's always a puzzle.
Yeah. Okay, we'll puzzle it in off camera.
Yeah.
The clips here and there. So,
Yep.
This is all good, this is all good. Now Vera found back here that we haven't connected our vacuum pump. And this would have been easier to do without these cables in the way. That was
Oh, I
one.
heard a click.
And the
Heard
second
it
one.
again?
Good. Right there.
Oh, okay.
I need some silicone grease maybe.
Yeah.
But maybe we get it in like this.
Oh, it goes in there?
Yes, it's the vacuum line for
For
your
the
brake
brake.
booster. That's what's broken on Fabian's car right now. And the poor guy can't go to Spain.
hopefully...
These are the glow plugs. We need them to start the engine.
Yeah, so but you better put them in.
Where did they go? Maybe like this? This looks more natural, I would say. And
Oh
this
my God.
Brown to black and black to white.
So what about that black clip? Does it connect to anywhere?
Where? Oh, we need that one. Okay, now it's time for the battery. And then for the airbox. And then fluid. And then start.
We are missing a whole bunch of stuff here, Christian.
What's going in that hole? I don't remember. Okay.
Oh, it's over here.
A guy with a NASA hat should not lift a battery. Now we're getting really close, guys. Okay, this ratchet lets you stay away from work.
The extension. So why aren't you closing the third nut?
This is for the winch. It's alive again.
Oh my God! You hear that?
If there's so many weeks.
Psst. Symphony of technology.
We gotta disconnect the air suspension.
Oh yes. We only mounted the bare minimum to start the engine.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that. Apparently we left the indicator light on.
airbox goes in. Not paying attention.
Yes, I was listening to Robin.
Yeah.
So he should blow my K&N air filter actually out.
I just gonna say we do some maintenance afterwards.
What?
The weather is coming in. You got a lid for it too? She's not paying attention, guys.
Oh, you're so high maintenance.
That's not a term for a man.
Yes, I'm really not.
No, you're really low maintenance. You wouldn't even buy clothes if I won't tell you.
Yeah, I bought a nice jacket today for mountain biking. Did you put
got
copper grease on?
Copper grease on it. And it's reverse thread, okay? Goes there. Done. Better take this out now before we forget it. Plug this in. Plug this in. It's on for safety because we may be working on this engine. 2 minutes before Vera sticks her hand in there.
I don't know why he says stuff like that.
It is like that. What is that? Oh. And coolant.
And steering
Fluid.
5.6 liters of 5W40.
Let's put something in here. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we put the oil in first.
Yeah, 5 liters.
5W40 DPF, which is the correct oil for this engine if you want it to live. If you want to shorten the life and get some money to your workshop, you can run 5W30 as well. Completely rebuilt engine.
Okay, we have to do so many more things. Oh my God.
Purge now our diesel fuel system. So I got a hose hooked up to the Schrader valve and I'm gonna jumper the fuel relay here and I'm gonna let it run. Ain't doing anything.
Yeah, because there's no juice.
We did not connect the fuel pump.
What?
And it's above the fuel tank.
No, we did something wrong.
We screwed something up.
Oh, my perfectly running engine.
Is it running? Is the camera running?
Of course, okay. I'm doing my job.
Priming the fuel pump after 2 hours.
And we took the fuel tank out.
Taking the fuel tank down.
Because
and,
Christian forgot to plug a plug.
There's fuel.
What the fuck?
You're not supposed to say that.
What the? Oh my God.
Okay, we're gonna let a full liter run out.
Yeah, so let me show you.
Which
So-
plug I forgot.
Yes.
That's not fair. That's out of context.
Yeah, and it's...
I had it in my hand and I thought, well, we better film this one.
No.
And then you weren't around. I'm wearing a NASA hat. It's your fault. You were not around to film it, so I didn't plug it in.
So we didn't plug that shit in. And that is like so far away from the fuel tank and the fuel pump.
There are absolutely no more bubbles.
Yeah.
Somehow I want to go pee now. Now I plug in the fuel pump relay.
So what are we...
Power steering fluid. Just so it doesn't start on an empty tank.
I mean, we put in ATF Top Tech 1800 for the power steering in the Land Rover Discovery 3. So now we are on the coolant issue.
The coolant issue?
Yes. It's gonna be a big mess.
Oh, it's gonna be a mess.
And I'll have it on film. Everything looks still fine. I cannot believe you got the fuel out. I'm so
And who
shocked.
found it?
Yes, you.
Because I'm wearing a NASA hat.
Oh, I was so done. I didn't want to take out the fuel tank.
You already took it off.
We already took it off. And that one also. I know my stuff.
Oh, I gotta hold it. Oh, no, I ruined it on your car.
That is very satisfying. You know, Christian ordered one 13-liter oil for the Challenger because he misread the line. That was like
So if anybody
116.
needs Challenger oil, we got enough. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna open the window, and then I start it. It was...
The GoPro is acting up.
Don't go further back, otherwise I don't see you, okay?
Yes.
Raise it a little bit.
Yeah, the clutch is not connected and no transmission oil is in. Oh my god, I'm so scared. What was that? Now it's gonna start. ETR valve. Oh, come on! It's not getting enough fuel.
Engine doesn't have a fault. That's quite concerning. We did prime the fuel long enough already. The glow plugs are working. I'm gonna see if I can see the fuel pressure here. Yeah.
But the high pressure fuel pump throws a fault. I don't think it's
No, only when it starts.
No! It's not starting. What the fuck? Oh!
Now the TDV6 does not need much to start, okay? It needs fuel, it needs a functioning crankshaft sensor, and that's really it.
Oh my god.
We are now in the same position as many of our subscribers, which usually mail us, well, we took the engine out, put it back together, and the car won't start. What could it be?
So we are still doomed. Got to figure out why he won't start. Christian's gonna take the wheels off now.
So here. This? Or do you want to use this?
No.
No?
No.
So you want to use this? We really got a bad day, okay? Already the third day in a row, because this thing does not start. It's a different story if you have an engine which was once running and then it broke and then it don't start anymore. But now this engine is a complete rebuild. So we don't really know if we screwed something up. And the first check we're gonna do now is check if the lower end works.
So when the wheels are off, we have more access and Christian can lower the car further down. So all wheels are off. Well,
And I can conveniently work on here. This is now new content because a lot of people already approached us. Well, we rebuilt the engine and it don't start. What do we do? And I said, well, I don't know, but if it was running before, you probably screwed something up and we never had this problem. So this content is now exactly to answer these people's questions. And you will see almost live how hard we have to struggle to get it to run. It really starts that it needs fuel pressure. That's the first thing. The gap tool is actually able to show me fuel pressure while I'm cranking. The ECU is working, there's battery power there, and I can see the fuel pressure rising. The limit is 150 bar. There will be no injection below 150 bar. So I get about 1,000 bar if I crank long enough, so I know my rail got pressure. That's the first thing. The second thing the engine needs to inject is the signal from the crankshaft position sensor. And the third thing is the signal from the camshaft position sensor. It needs to see both sensors because on the crankshaft position sensor alone, it doesn't know if the timing is in the first revolution or in the second revolution. All you guys know that the crankshaft needs to turn twice to turn the camshafts once. So both sensors need to work. And those sensors I cannot really diagnose with the gap tool. I only see engine RPM, but I don't know, is the zero pulse maybe off, is it in the wrong position, and so on. So I got no clue about those sensors, and that's the line of attack. The first step we're gonna do before we even go after sensors and ECU and the other crap is to check if the lower end of the block and the timing is working. And we're gonna do that the old-fashioned way, and we're gonna collect all kinds of desktop mechanics comments. We're gonna spray in starter fluid. And to make this more exciting, I'm gonna spray in the starter fluid, and Vera is gonna start the engine.
No.
Of course you do.
No.
What other responsibility do you want to have?
I want to film. I don't want to have any responsibility.
My arm don't reach to the starter. If the engine is firing and sounding somewhat reasonably normal, we're going to go after the sensors.
Oh my God. And I hope the valves are not blowing apart like everybody wrote in the comments on yesterday's video.
Because I didn't tap the valve stems?
On video.
But that's only one thing I didn't do, which you guys found. You didn't see the other 5 things I didn't do. This is my starter fluid. And this is my stop rack, okay? If the engine starts to run away, I'm gonna put this rack here in front of it. That's also why I took off the intake and I just don't spray it into the air filter. Because if the engine would run away and I got no ECU control for whatever reason, it won't shut down. Maybe running on an oil leak or something on the inside. I also took the cooling fan out for exactly this reason, so I don't hurt myself here.
If it starts, but I don't feel it, and I turn off in that second.
Doesn't matter. You have no responsibility.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Start it. One more. Go. I gotta say, this didn't sound too well.
We screwed up the engine.
We're gonna take an oscilloscope shot on the crankshaft position sensor and on the camshaft position sensor. And you start now. We connected crankshaft position and camshaft position, and I oscilloscoped this with my laptop here. And basically the blue line is the crankshaft position sensor and the red line is the camshaft position sensor. The camshaft delivers 3 pulses per camshaft revolution. So here is my trigger point on the crankshaft, and you can see it's just before the falling edge of the camshaft sensor. There is the first revolution at the end, and if I scroll over now, first at the end, second at the end, and it looks just the same. So there's my camshaft. Exactly sitting correctly here.
And from the sound of it, because I cranked that engine now the entire evening, it doesn't sound wrong. It's not completely messed up. There's just a tiny link missing.
We got a non-running engine, and I got crankshaft position, I got camshaft position, I got fuel pressure, I got everything what this thing needs, and it's not starting, so I'm kind of desperate. So here I want to give you guys an update on my fault finding procedure. I think the crankshaft trigger wheel is not correct, okay? I know I inserted it correctly. If you were watching my previous videos, how we installed this, it was all fine, okay? I did this as precise as I could and as good as I always did. Here's what I measured on the trigger wheel, okay? Here on the right-hand side, you see the trigger wheel in the vehicle during a starting attempt, okay? You can see that there is basically no clear gap in the signal which can be recognized by the ECU as the trigger point. If I zoom in on this gap, okay, right here, you see it, there's a little gap, and then I count the flanks, or basically the rising edges past this gap, I get 59. What the hell? According to the Land Rover manual, I'm supposed to have 58. Well, that's one gap. On the right-hand side, I put a used trigger wheel with a brand new sensor into my lathe. So I built a test setup and let it run approximately at the same RPM as the cranking in the vehicle. So it's about 150 RPM. And on the first few immediately, you see a clear gap. And when I count these spikes here, I get 58. So I don't know what you think, but I think the ECU is all confused, and that's why the car is not injecting. In the first go round, I was scoping also the camshaft position sensor together with the crankshaft position sensor to check if the timing between them is correct, and it was correct. All I did is put the trigger wheel into my lathe, and I attached a brand new Bosch sensor here with the proper gap of 0.5 millimeters. And I tested various trigger wheels here, even one which is completely bent up, because that one still delivered me a good gap, okay? It was just missing a few pulses here, obviously. But this one is the one we took out of Vera's car. I had to bend it straight again, and it also delivers 58 pulses between the gaps. And here's the one from our LR4, and that one is like in a perfect shape. I don't know how I got it off this clean, but I think it had to do with the crankshaft being broken. And that one delivers a perfect signal. So you can see when I let this spin here, it's about the starting RPM. Then I got this scope here, and with this scope I can basically trigger right here on this gap. You can see that, and you can see there is a clear defined gap. And if I go ahead and count those signals here in between, you can see there's one, there's the other one. I can basically now freeze the screen here with this scope, what I borrowed from my friend at work. I can now zoom in and scroll over to where the gap is, right here, and then scroll over this way, and I can count the spikes, and I count 58. As simple as that. This is how the signal is supposed to look. I bought me a brand new Land Rover trigger wheel for a ton of money, and that's my intention to install this. I think that's the way to go. And that's it for this week's episode. Sorry that this is not as successful. And we thank our Patreons a lot for their support. And
We'll see you next Sunday.
okay. Okay, we got the transmission out on our excursion towards the trigger wheel.